Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So right now I'm going to be doing a reading for Blu-rays. Blu-rays. Let me just get the cards situated. I had to shuffle everything again. And now I'm going to pull cards. Okay. Pull cards time. Pull cards time. All right. All right. I just want to see what that card was. Oh, stick it in the middle. All right. So, Blu-rays, what next? What next? Not too sure. Not too sure. Let's make this a good reading. No bullshit, no witchcraft, no twin shit. Just, Blu-ray stuff. Okay. Ooh, so the moon and release. When is the next moon event? Like full moon, new moon, eclipse. So long as you're alive, you're already winning. Just so you know. It has to do with the moon, something with the moon. And it has to do with a release. Okay? So, oh, fucking shit. Okay. That wasn't a twin flame response. All right, so new moon is coming. Do you guys know the date? Scorpio moon tomorrow night. New moon in Scorpio? Is that what it is? So there's a release coming. There's like an intensity about it. It's in the deck. There's an intensity about it, which, it ties into Scorpio energy. Scorpio can be intense. What is going on? We're having such an amazing few days. Can we just keep that going? Let's keep that going. Shit. Major not good. Okay? Major not good. We'll deal with it. We will definitely deal with it. It's going to be perfectly fine. That's what we're made for. Notice how I didn't stutter. I didn't hesitate. That's literally what we're made for. We're made for this. So let's see how this plays out. Definitely need to see how this plays out. All right. Here goes. Okay. First, the first thing is that we have to honor ourselves. We have to find what it is that will help us to be the most balanced, which is finding your center. Okay. When you exist in center, you don't have to balance. Because of the fact that you're centered, balance comes with that. Okay. You don't have to put any effort into balancing. Oh God, another moon card. All right. Moon, the moon, card number 32. The moon often represents feminine energy, a negative charge, things that are hidden, just a lot of yang. No, yin. It's yin energy. But here's the thing, card number 32, faith in the process. So whatever's being hidden, it's going to be very intense. Okay, it's going to really, really challenge you. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a horrible, horrible, horrible thing. It just means it's going to be intense. You can deal with it. You can handle it. Card number 32 and 32, they're mirroring each other. So card number 42, when you increase tenfold, you got the confidence. After you've experienced whatever it is you're going to experience with this, you will develop confidence. And that's the whole point of this. You don't realize how powerful you actually are until you have no choice but to be powerful. You can hype yourself up all you want, but you don't know how truly powerful you are until you live through something that gives you no option but to keep pushing through. So, King of Autumn, compassionate, accomplished, charismatic, gifted. Oh, well, look at you. Sitting there like your viral TikToker. that face. Be assertive when it comes to what you know is right. Everything going your way, a good person or company to work for. Oh, okay. First, look at his face. Oh, he looks like Zac Efron. So there's all this good stuff, right? And it's leading up to the middle deck, which is just rife with effery. It is just rife with it. All right. Oh, yeah, complicated, indeed. Indeed. So we have card number 26. Release the hold of darkness and be a cause. So you're going to have some weird stuff kind of like swirling around you, some weird feeling, weird circumstance, just odd, maybe even uncomfortable types of circumstance. I don't necessarily think that this is going to be something where you're in there's potential for physical harm. I can't say that that's it in a general reading. That's a bit intense. That's a bit intense. So there's a lot of things swirling around you, but there's also new growth. You know, there's also new growth. There is richness in the decay, because mushrooms have a tendency to grow where things are rotting. So that's another indicator. Maybe things are kind of decomposing. Whatever you felt like something that you had really high hopes that this is going to work out, it might become something that is not what you expected. You might still get that amazing end result, but it might also be that the path to get to that result is way different. The options that you thought were there might not be there anymore. So then we also have card number 37, Death and Magic. So I'm wondering if there's going to be some challenging things to cause an elevated ascension cycle, like to trigger it. When it comes to the word death, all that means is an ending. It doesn't mean literal death. So we can just calm down. We can just calm down. I don't know. I just really feel like even if it was true for 2 or 3 people that watch this video, I feel like it would be so irresponsible of me to say that there is potential for physical harm. I don't know. I don't feel like that's the right thing to say. Yeah. No. That's not the right thing to say. So I was trying to determine, like, where is this urge coming from? This like nonstop, oh, I have to tell them, I have to warn them. I have to make sure that they don't get hurt. Because I mean, I already said at the very beginning, you can handle whatever this life brings you, whatever this cycle brings you. So I asked Michael to come. This is one of the few times that Michael's not directly beside me while I'm reading. And then something took off running. So this tells me that there is an attempt to try and cause fear within the Blu-rays, to make you feel as though maybe you can't handle this life, to make you feel as though maybe you're not strong enough, maybe you're not smart enough, maybe you don't have enough development under your belt. I think all of that's bullshit. regardless of how aware you are or unaware you are of your development, if you are a Blu-ray, you are a Blu-ray. We have built-in protection. We just do. We have built-in, I guess you could say, defensive coating. Okay? So just let it ride. Let it ride. You cannot insulate yourself from your entire life. Okay? Sometimes inconvenient things will happen. Sometimes those inconvenient things will be scary. Sometimes it'll be sad. Sometimes it'll be happy. It'll be like an opportune moment. Let it ride. Okay? So I'm being given this like analogy of being at the casino. Well, there's a risk of losing your money, but there's also a risk of winning. 100% of the time, if you do not gamble, you will not win. You will not lose, but you also will not win. So it's just really, are you willing to receive? This is not about like selling parts of you, selling your soul or any of that. Are you willing to open yourself to experiencing, having a new experience that leads to a new frame of mind? And these are things, you know, your soul is probably already talking to you about these things. Your soul is probably already priming you for whatever's going to happen on this moon. So with that, card number 12, Hex. Be still and allow the enemy to reveal itself. Well, I'm wondering if maybe for some of us, this so-called enemy is nothing more than ourselves, our self-doubt, our lack of self-love, self-acceptance, all of those things. For some of us, it very well might be that, where you haven't been doing enough to allow yourself to blossom in the light of your truth. Sorry. That's crazy. Total distraction right in the middle of me saying something. So whatever happens has to do with communication, communicating from the high heart space or lack thereof. So card number 18, the moon. Powerful intuitive epiphanies, letting go of worry and fear, understanding the truth of a situation. This is what we were just talking about. The truth of the situation is that any situation in your life, no matter how painful, no matter how inconvenient, no matter how heartbreaking, it has the potential to grow you in ways that no other situation can grow you. So card number 13, let go of the past, an ending that makes way for new opportunities, time to move on. Remember, we talk about death being nothing but an ending, okay? Yeah. So definitely, I'm wondering if this is going to be such a huge challenge that you're going to finally throw your hands up and be like, you know what? I'm done fighting myself. I am done fighting my process. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. That's actually what happened to me. I had to be done with allowing things to do whatever the heck it wants to me. And finally, I fought back. So it might be something like that where you're being triggered to push forward with force. This is a very complicated period. Again, look, reference to the moon. So it's complicated. It's complicated. It's not something so easy to see. It's not something that's going to be so easy to discern. It's not cut and dry. It's a very subtle type of lesson. So we have card number 6, shock of the new. This is going to be a very new thing. This means you probably have never experienced this type of situation. If you have experienced this type of situation, you've never seen it in the way you're about to see it. It's going to be a completely new thing. The way you see it is what I'm talking about. When you see something in a different way, it becomes a different experience. For example, if you see something in such a negative light and you just don't want to do it, you don't want to go, you're probably going to have a bad time. Okay, you're probably going to be disappointed. You're going to feel like your time's been wasted. This was, all of that like negative stuff. But if you're excited about something, oh boy, good stuff. Even if it's like a flop, you like, oh, but I had fun. It was amazing. So shock of the new is going to come after a revelation. Now, if you look at her, she looks super electric. There's a dragon pooping a lightning in her hand. It's just a very electric thing. If there was one card in this deck that was very representative of Archangel Michael's family, the Blue Rays, especially the Blue Ray Cloisters, it would be this card. It would absolutely be this card. So a little heads up. When it comes to oscillation rate, the higher your vibration, the lower your frequency. Those two are tied. They're inversely tied. So the higher your vibration, the lower your frequency. The lower your frequency, it affects the spin of your subatomic particles, which then affect whether you are magnetic or electric. Magnetic, if you think of magnets, they bring things to them. So that would mean you're becoming more dense. High vibration equals higher density, more dense, or lower density. When you have a lower vibration, you then have a higher frequency. With a higher frequency, you become more electric, you become more expanded. This is the very reason why electric energy is more desirable. You can believe what you want about the high vibe. High vibe is a culture. It's a culture that feeds off of spirituality. That spirituality is what fuels it. It's a culture. It's something that was created for pop culture. It's something that was created to give content to influencers. It's not actual spirituality based. That's my feeling. That's how I view it because of what I see associated with that concept. High vibe, positive vibes only. Why? Because you don't want to fully develop? I mean, you need to have the good with the bad and the bad with the good. The presence of the bad days is what gives gravity to the good. You don't understand how good life is until you experience some hardship in life. Then you begin to look back like, damn, I had it so good. So then you begin to get an idea of the truth of your circumstance. So, creative spark. You have to allow yourself to experience new ways of seeing. If you see life in the same old way, you go to your job, you go home, you get home, you do laundry, you do dishes, you make your dinner, you wash the dishes, you go to bed, repeat it the next day. You go to work, you come home, you clean the house, you make dinner, you eat dinner, you clean up, you go to bed. I mean, really, is that actually living? Or is that merely existing? Existing within a matrix that feeds off your energy. So now it's time for you to see things differently. It's not like there's something wrong with going to work. We all have to work. We all have to earn enough to be able to afford to exist. That's why it's called a living wage. It's a wage that can cover the cost of living. If that's all you're doing is covering the cost of living, are you actually living? And it's not about you need to make more money. It's about what are you actually doing with your life? Are you allowing yourself to simply be that hamster on the wheel that helps to propel this machine forward? Because if you want more than that, you have to begin making choices that lead to more than that. Again, it's not about money. I've had a very, very, very productive, very, very happy, fulfilled life, being technically considered low income or very low income. I've had no problems. I've had no like, oh my God, I can't buy that purse. That's the other people. Like, I haven't been into that. I've seen it as a very free life, a very amazing life where I don't have to have all those things. I can just pick up and go. One bag, I'm out. I can go. So what do you really want in life? This is a period where you're going to have to begin making these choices. You don't have to give all your things away. You know what I mean? But do you really still need to acquire more? And what you're acquiring, is it something that's helping you to feel more fulfilled in a spiritual sense? Or is it just another trinket to kind of show other people like, no, I'm making it in the world? I don't have any trinkets to show other people I'm making it in the world. I just have this sense within myself where it's like, my life's good. It's a simple life, but it's fucking good. It's really, really good. Like, I don't have the worries. Excuse me. I don't have to compare. I don't go on social media to see what the new thing is for makeup, for hair, for clothing, for purses, accessories. I go there to find funny shit and kitten videos. It's true. I look for funny stuff in kitten videos. That's my shit. It's a hard day, I look for kittens. And then it's a good day again. So card number 30, merge with the flow. If you still want to do the material thing, nothing wrong with that. I'm being absolutely honest with you. There's nothing wrong with that. But just know that's going to leave you confined to the banks, the shoreline of this river of life. It's going to leave you hanging on to twigs and rocks and all of that. It's going to allow your waters to become stagnant. If you're ready to flow, to merge with the flow of your true life, your true existence, that's probably going to, help push you towards the middle of the river and push you down your life. You'll begin to experience things, spiritually speaking, in regards to your awareness, at a much faster rate. It's like synchronicity after synchronicity after synchronicity, and suddenly you're just a walking miracle. You come to this realization, holy moly. Like, I just think something and it happens. I think I need $5 and I find $5 on the ground. Because that's really how it works. Just so you know, that's really how it works. You just think something and creation responds, sometimes immediately. Because you have no more blockage. There's no more baggage to hold you back, to slow down your flow. So, 10 of winter, the resolution of difficulties, a weight lifted off your shoulders, the end of an addiction or codependency. This is just what I was talking about. That addiction, codependency thing. So many of us are codependent, addicted to social media to tell us how to think, how to feel, the way to behave, how to appear in front of other people. No more of that. Really allow who you are to come forward. Really allow your authentic self to be witnessed by other people. The only time your life will change is if you create enough space for that change to come in. And it usually begins with you. If you are very hectic and chaotic and just like really like messy within your mind, then your life probably will reflect that outside of you. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean you're weak or anything like that. It's just an observation, okay? You're either going to tidy up your mind and your internal so that your external can be tidied as well, or you're not, at which point you will continue to have all of these really chaotic thoughts. Part of my thing that I realized, my OCD tendencies, I was really beginning to go down that road of clinical obsessive compulsive disorder, because within me it was so chaotic. I needed everything like beyond organized, categorized, fucking printed labels. Literally printed labels on the plastic bins that are color coordinated for my kids to place their toys in. They can't just dump it in. One at a time, it has to be organized and lined up. Fucking insanity on my part. And I realized part of the way I healed that for myself, I realized that is an external representation of my internal circumstance. when you go through all of these cycles and you don't want to process it, it becomes a huge hoarder house within your mind. If that doesn't give you a visual. And oftentimes Blu-rays have a hard time letting go of things. Someone pissed you off, you're probably going to think about that for at least a few hours, if not a few days. At least a few hours where you're replaying over and over and over again in your mind because you didn't say what you wanted to say. You didn't get to put them in their place. You didn't get to shut them down because you were too busy trying to play by the rules. And then after the circumstance is done and it doesn't have an outcome that you feel good about, you then start to replay all this stuff that you should have said. Oh, I should have said this. Oh, if I said that, then this would have. Well, that's how we learn, right? It's how we learn. I still do that sometimes, but now when I start doing that, I like observe where my thoughts go, and then I just laugh at myself. I'm like, you're such a silly hoe. You're such a silly hoe. You should have said it then. You can't trip about it now. So, and then I let it go. I used to do that. The more out of control I felt, the more color-coded the house became. Yep. And none of the hangers could be a different color. It all had to be the same color, same brand of hangers. Y'all. I'm just saying. Card number 2, the warrior. It's okay for you to have warrior energy. It's okay for that warrior energy to come out sometimes. You can only threaten a warrior so many times before the warrior comes out, before the warrior stands up and is like, you want some? I give you some. I'll break you off. I'm aware that I'm cleaning to an excess. I function when my space is orderly. I need to balance. Very true. Balance needs to be established. All right. Let's move to this. These 2 cards fell out, and let's pull a couple more. So what next? We need to recondition ourselves. We need to begin analyzing what's going on internally because externally there will be an attempt on you. This is an attempt to really enter your space. Hey, girl. Hey, girl. Oh, okay. Really make sure that you reconcile all of these things because when when you reconcile your ledger, you have to make sure everything's accounted for, right? Are you accounting for all these events in your life that have led to like all sorts of different scenarios that have left you feeling less than, left you feeling as though you're not capable, as though like life just happens to you and you have no say? You have an absolute say in your life. Absolute say. There's times where I have to get certain projects done and I'm like, oh, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. Oh, I still have 3 hours. Oh, I have 2 hours. Oh shit, I have an hour and a half. Fuck, girl. Why couldn't you just do it at the 3-hour mark? Well, actually, truth be told, you should have did it last week instead of watching your fucking soap opera. I just had my conversation this morning. I said that to myself because I still have to print a book. Okay, let's see. Queen of Pentacles, prosperity and well-being, generosity, security, liberty, grace, dignity, a noble soul. Yes, this is you. This is the Blu-ray. It doesn't matter what's happened in your life to get you to a point where you don't feel like you know yourself, where you feel as though you should be ashamed of who you are. None of that matters. Let it go. You are the only one holding on to that. People will respond to the change within you. If you let that go, the people around you will as well. And the ones who don't want to let it go, they have an issue. The issue probably isn't you. You just make it easier for them to justify their issue with you, their unfounded, unreasonable, unfair issue with you. So stop. Because everything you do, no matter how amazing and how generous and all of that, it's going to be used as a justification. I knew someone who I would constantly give them things because I knew that I was super poor too. So it wasn't like I thought it was better. I knew they were very materialistic. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. They just like material things. And so I would constantly give them material things because I felt like, well, if they can't buy it for themselves and I have a little bit of extra cash, maybe I could get it for them. And, they can have it and be happy. Well, no. I was so wrong. I was totally taken as, oh, you just think you're better than me and you just treat me like a charity case. Well, then, bitch, give me back all that shit. I don't have any use for it, but I'll give it to someone else. It's just, there's no point in going out of your way for someone who has no interest, no plan, not even open to the possibility of trying to understand you. Don't waste your time. Use that time and that energy for people who do want to. There are plenty of people in this world that you probably haven't even met yet who want to get to know you, who want to understand what's going on in your head. Like, a lot of people think I'm crazy. So what? I don't care. Think all you want, because no matter what I do, even when I was trying to be normal, people thought I was crazy. Okay, well, I can't do normal then. Yeah, no, maybe I'm crazy. It's cute. It's cute. And I kept telling myself that. It's cute. And eventually it became cute to me. And now I really don't care who thinks I'm crazy. This is just me. And I'm very satisfied with myself and my life. I'm doing my own little thing. It doesn't really matter. And as I began to do my own little thing and began to accept myself, all of you arrived. And I really like you guys. I really like you guys, like a lot. So it's not always a bad thing to kind of go off on your own and do your own thing. Forget about being part of a group. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes when you go out on your own, the group that really helps you to blossom will come across your path one by one, each petal finding you until you're a complete flower. So Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles, generosity, philanthropy, charity, gratification, and gifts. These are some nice cards. You guys are being asked to return to that place where you used to exist before the world told you it wasn't okay to be generous, to be kind, to be loving for no reason other than because you exist and you've come across my path. And so now I'm going to just love you. Love is not always romantic. Love is not always codependency. Sometimes love is just like a flash in the night. It's there and it's gone and it's okay. It was beautiful in that moment. It was there. Learn to be detached from any outcomes, because as whatever this event is, rolls in, whatever assumption you have, whatever expectation you have for this event, what it's going to do for you, how it's going to be experienced, who's going to be involved, those are all many different ways in which to disappoint yourself, to feel as though you've been cheated, to feel as though none of this, including the parts about you being amazing, apply to you. I beg to differ. The part about you being amazing applies to all of you. Like I said, I really don't care what's happened in your life to get you to the point where you are right now, where you don't believe in yourself, you don't value yourself. I can see beyond that. And because I see beyond that, I call bullshit when you begin to give me reasons as to why you're not enough, as to why you're too much, as to why other people have convinced you that you're toxic. Every single person has toxicity within them. Every single person. So who the hell are they to tell you, okay, thank you for using me as your mirror. Now that you see yourself, I'm going to wipe you off of my face. Screw them. Don't listen to them. Seriously, hold yourself accountable for everything in your life. Holding yourself accountable is not about blaming yourself. It's about acknowledging the decisions that you made, the selections of options that led you to where you are. Don't select that again. If it hurts you, don't select it again. And that's all it is. So, King of Pentacles. Okay, this is all about money. King of Pentacles, dark eyes and dark hair, business arrogance, powerful. Yeah, I like dark eyes. Okay. An experienced and successful leader, a person of character and intelligence, business acumen, mathematical ability, reliable partner, wise investment, ability to acquire money and valuable possessions. Okay. The thing that I liked the most about the meaning for this card, wise investment. Yes, you are. You are an absolutely wise investment. Invest in yourself. Invest in your growth. Invest in the space you create when you drop all the toxic bullshit, all the toxic people. But I don't want to be alone. Oh, you won't be. You'll need time to temporarily be alone in order to finish clearing the space. Once all that space is clear, the people who can love you in the way that you want so badly that you're settling for all these toxic people, those people will find their way to you. They absolutely will. So long as you continue to fill your space with toxicity as a way to settle, you're going to be toxic. You can only hang around people so long before their characteristics rub off on you. You know, my shit talking? That came from my husband. He's a Gemini. He talks so much shit. You could be sitting on a bench and we drive past you and he has shit to say. That I got that from him. I'm just saying, not to blame him, but I pulled that in. Whoever you hang around the most, whether it's just online, whether it's in real life, you are pulling in their energy. There is always an energetic exchange between you and your environment. Your auric shield is porous. When you do auric shield work, you are simply calibrating each pore of your auric shield. Those are your apartheid filters. If that filter is not calibrated to keep that out, which most of us don't, you pull that in. Well, how do we calibrate it that way? Unless you can be focused on someone 24 hours a day and have zero trust in anybody, eventually you let that in. That's how you do it. You have to trust nobody. Why do most people's energy not affect me? Because I don't trust people. That's just, hey, you know what? I have nothing to be ashamed of. I have serious trust issues and I don't trust people. And maybe I was created to have trust issues so that I don't trust people, so I don't let their stuff in. Because I know I'm going to be exposed to a ton of people's energies doing the work I do. So maybe that's it. Maybe it's time for us to begin spending time trying to understand why we have the tics we have, instead of trying to convince us those are the parts of us that are broken. I beg to differ. The 1 year, and it was 18 months, it wasn't just a year, but the 1 year that I decided to convince myself my trust issues were bullshit, I need to grow, grow. And I need to just trust people until they give me a reason not to trust them. Oh, that was the biggest bullshit year of my whole fucking life. That 18 months was the biggest bullshit year of my entire life, and it all played out so publicly. And it all had to happen that way because I had to learn. Not everyone deserves my trust. I believe everyone's a good person. I believe even the good people can become convinced, coerced, manipulated, like all of these different things that are done to cause you to believe it's okay for you to do hurtful things to others. But I think at the core of you, you're good. But does that mean I need to gift you such a valuable thing as my trust? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Just because I don't trust you doesn't mean I'm going to treat you differently. It doesn't mean that. I can still be very nice. It's not me being fake either. You can still be nice to people and not categorize them as a friend. That's the one thing I learned about that period. I mean, that was such a tough lesson. I thought that anybody who considered me their friend, ah, just because they consider you their friend doesn't mean they will treat you like a friend. Some people consider everyone their friends and they have no problem using their friends. I'm not saying everybody. I'm saying some people. There are people like that who exist. So how do you prevent yourself from getting hurt, from being used, manipulated, lied to? They have to earn your trust. They have to earn your trust. How do they earn your trust? By allowing them to be themselves in front of you. Let them get very, very comfortable in front of you. Be supportive. Be a listener. And they'll tell you. They become so comfortable, they'll tell you. They'll tell you exactly what they want from you without them realizing. That's not you manipulating or coercing. That's creating a safe space for people to live in their truth. And that's what I figured out. I will create such a safe space for you to live in your truth. And once I witness your truth involves hurting me, harming me, using me, abusing me, you can be truthful somewhere else. Be who you are, just not with me. Nothing wrong with that. So when you get tested, probably soon, whenever that moon thing happens, you have to find your strength. You have to find your strength, okay? Inner strength, confrontation with yourself or other people. I don't really like confrontation. I would prefer no confrontation. But I've gotten to a point in my sovereign journey, my journey back to my sovereignty, that, I mean, if you really want it, might. It depends. If I have a way to avoid it, then I won't. But if you try and corner me, I'll claw you. Like a kitty cat. I will claw the shit out of you. Just don't corner me. Give me a way to evade you. Give me a way out. Give me, let me kind of manage my own space. Nobody gets hurt. You corner me, I can't guarantee I won't do anything. I'm just being really honest. Because guess what's next? King of Swords. All right. An active and determined person, experienced, controlled, commanding, a professional person. Highly analytical, justness, force, superiority. So, allow yourself to rise back up to the place where you're supposed to be. Not in comparison to other people, but in comparison to the you that you've been in the past. Be more superior to the you that you were before you realized who you were becoming. Does that make sense? We get to a certain point in our life where we realize the person we're becoming, and we either at that point make a choice to really go for it or turn the other way. So what are you going to do? Once you get to where you are right now and you look back and see where you were in that moment and what you chose in that moment, are you going to continue to fuel the journey going towards the left or fuel your journey to turn around and go to the right? Because you can change your mind at any time. I mean, I've been an asshole for quite a few years. Sometimes I change my mind. Sometimes I'm really nice. Sometimes I'm not. It really all depends on what I'm going to fuel myself for during the day. So give yourself permission, like I said, to be who you are and have no shame in that. Really. I say that I'm an asshole, but am I an asshole to everybody? Only the people who force me to be an asshole. Like I said, give me a way to leave the conversation, and I usually will. I usually will try and just leave it alone. But if I feel like I have to, then I have to. All right. So, blue rays, stuff's going on. I don't know what it is, but it's a very challenging stuff. Whatever it is, it's going to be unique for each of us because, we're all here to experience things differently. but the lesson is going to be the same. Are you going to choose are you going to choose to allow something in? Or are you going to choose yourself? That's a huge question for Blu-rays. Are you going to choose yourself, or are you going to repeat that lesson? Because we've been through this before. We really, really have. That's why I'm like, there's nothing to worry about. I mean, especially for Blu-ray Cloister, we've been through several lifetimes where people have tried to curse you. They've tried to kill you. It's a very violent existence. I'm going to be honest. People think that just cracked me up. Michael showed me this visual of like what people think where they say Blu-ray, and I'll show you the picture. Hold that. Okay, let's see. I'll show you guys the picture, okay? When people say Blu-ray, this is what most of us visualize. Tell me that's not what you visualize. When you say that you're a Blu-ray, that's what you visualize. That's not what a Blu-ray is. Blu-rays are fucking... They're like the Navy SEALs of creation. What's above a Navy SEAL? What is that? Army Ranger? Wait, what is it? That's what we are. When we get deployed into bodies, it means massive change is coming. And oftentimes, just like you see in theaters of war, when there is a corrupt government and we're trying to remove that government, they're probably not going to let go willingly. They're probably going to fight you to the bitter end. And that's what Blu-rays are sent to do, to reestablish that order, to neutralize the imbalance. Yeah, the vision's absolutely more violent. Those who are Blu-ray Cloister often have dreams of wars, like really graphic dreams of wars. And for a while, I didn't want to sleep because I was tired of seeing it. It was so fucking traumatic to my brain, where you're like in a war zone. And, I'm not talking about with guns and, projectiles type stuff. I'm talking about blades. Like if you've ever been in close combat with just blades, you can smell certain things and splashing on you. That's a nasty ass dream. I'll tell you, it's not a good feeling. That's Blu-rays. That's Blu-rays. We're here to do hopefully not anything like that. Spiritually, I know that we do that. Yes, we do that. Spiritually, energetically, we've done that. That's a part of our history. Human terms, I'd like to think that we would like just protest. peaceful civil disobedience, just peaceful, like marching in the streets, carrying the signs, staying at home with your legally acquired firearms. It's just, I don't like okay, let me stop. So a lot of testing is going to go on for the next few weeks, at least until 12/12. That portal, I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I know up until 12/12, you're going to be very, very tested. Your patience, your ability to allow yourself to continue learning, your ability to continue pushing forward, not giving up on yourself, not giving up on your process, that's absolutely going to be tested. Hang in there. You've been through far worse than what this freaking weak-ass planet... I'm sorry. You've been through far worse than what this planet is doing, okay? You have literally been through far worse, far, far worse. You can get through this. Don't allow your human mind to convince you that you're not enough, that you can't make it through. You will. You absolutely will. You've been through so much more. If you're Blu-ray, the type of Blu-ray that hasn't fallen, okay? So, yeah, hand-to-hand combat is nasty. It's nasty. All right. Hey, baby. I love you. All right, I gotta go, guys. My little man's calling me. Love y'all. Bye. Oh, please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Buy some merch. You proud of me?